No, too late, Johnny. You can't open Pandora's box. Yes, you should know who she is and what's in her box. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to Cobra Kai. We're now on to episode 5, which is called Extreme Measures. So the last episode was kind of crazy, especially for our guy Daniel. We see that he and Amanda attended a charity event. This is something that's very important to Amanda. This is one of the personal aspirations that she has outside of the dealership that she wanted to pursue, and she was really hoping that Daniel would be her wingman and really help to, help her succeed in this area with the chairman who was at this charity event. But Silver had obviously found out about this and infiltrated this situation, and sadly he knew how Daniel works and he got into Daniel's head, and really all Daniel needed to do in that day, in that moment, was just to really be there for Amanda. But unfortunately his paranoia got the worst of him, or the best of him I should say, and he ended up ruining everything for Amanda and exposing the fact that he's been keeping a lot of his activities around the Cobra Kai situation from her. And Amanda ended up giving him an ultimatum, basically saying, hey, like, I'm tired of this Cobra Kai thing. Sorry, let's fix this mic. It's like it's about to fall. And it's basically been going on for too long. Either you quit this Cobra Kai thing or we're going to have a problem. And Daniel essentially told her he can't do it or he's not ready to. So she said she's leaving and she's taking the kids with her. So that's a huge blow for Daniel, but I think it's been a while coming because Amanda has been over this pretty much since season 1, to be fair. On the kids side of things have not improved between the Cobra Kai kids and the Miyagi-Do / Eagle Fang kids. They are still bickering. They haven't been fighting yet, but everything's become a battle. And of course that is bringing friction between Robby and Miguel, who Johnny was hoping would find a bridge to at least being civil to one another. But it looks like we're still a long ways away from that. And things between Sam and Miguel are still a bit awkward as they're trying to navigate this new not romantic friends situation. But I have a feeling it's not going to last for too long because there's still a lot of tension between the two of them. But hopefully they'll be able to figure out something soon. So definitely a downward spiral as far as things on the Miyagi-Do side of things, but we don't really know what's happening on the Cobra Kai side of things, especially with Kreese. We're now almost 4 or 5 episodes in with no sights of him. So I'm really interested to see what happens when we actually see Kreese and what he's up to, how he feels, and if he is going to actually try to help Daniel in this situation, because I have a feeling Daniel's going to see him at some point, or Johnny, or if he's just going to double down and help Silver and hope to get back in his good graces. But we're not going to know what anything is about until we get into the episode. So let's do that now. But before I do, if this is your first time to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I do reactions here to shows like this. So if that is your bag and you want to see me do that, please think about hitting that subscribe button, joining the family, hit this notification bell as well so you know when these episodes are uploaded. And if you like this video, please show some love to that like button. It means a lot to me. And leave comments below in case I missed something or just to let me know what's up. The same goes for those of you who've been here before. Welcome back. Thank you for coming back, and please join the family if you haven't already. We're almost at 10K. We want to see you there. All right, that out of the way, guys, let's get into the episode right about now. You can beat that dummy all you want, Tori. It's not gonna take care of those inner demons. Oh, here comes Stingray. I can't even be mad at him, actually. He did what he thought was right. Well, not right, but he just wanted to be a part of the group so bad.
An exemplar of everything Cobra Kai stands for.
Being a liar?
He stood tall, demanded justice. That's Cobra Kai.
Yep, Tori knows that this don't sound right. The sad reality, though, is that Kreese's past of attacking students is exactly why everyone would believe that he would do this.
Nichols, take over class. I need a word with my guy here.
Just gonna make sure he doesn't talk.
Thank you. Nobody ever rented me an apartment before.
Wow.
I feel like I kept
Damn. Money do make the world go round. How you doing, Silver? I think it's really cool that how Stingray is showing that he can't even look Silver in the eye, right? Because there's definitely some trauma there.
My car guy found it at an impound auction. Now,
it's yours.
It's yours.
Wow. How much is your soul, Stingray? Is there a price tag on that sucker? And he doesn't even come from a poor family. Look at Silver, like he's okay. Olive Garden, thank you for sponsoring.
Your body might be at a mall, my friend, but your taste buds are about to go on a tour of the old
Nope,
country.
no.
This guy knows.
There's literally nothing Italian about Olive Garden.
It's not his effort, I'm pissed at.
Breadsticks aren't gonna fix this.
Spoken like a man who's never had the gardens breadsticks.
Yeah, I was about to say, they fix a lot.
Yeah, I'm never gonna forget that.
Neither am I.
I appreciate the effort, Johnny, but more breadsticks for you. Eh? Although, if we're talking about bread, though, Cheesecake Factory still top tier. Kind of lonely in that house, hey, Daniel? You and your revenge? Got revenge keeping you warm? Oh, look at you. We are spiraling.
Family is most important thing to all of you. Strong bonds forged together.
Strong bonds.
It's true. They do have a good foundation, but Daniel needs to get himself centered.
Where did this come from?
With Mir, no envelope. This is Cobra Kai Sensei.
Who would write liar? The only person who knows he's lying would be... Well, maybe it's Tori.
Could be answer to expose Silver and get family.
Yeah, let's have coffee. I mean, I'm all for a liquid breakfast when on vacation, but... Yeah, let's just swap a Rooney. Let's just take that glass away, okay? Take a wash. I don't even think you've washed. Let's do that.
You know, I'm just saying marriage became obsolete when we
Wow, we have not seen her mother ever. But I guess she couldn't very well go to Daniel's mom, because Daniel's mom would be so mad. Wow. K3 in the house. How are they friends? Interesting. This is what you made poor Robby give up his beautiful holiday in the Hamptons for?
Tricking you into lunch wasn't my best effort, so I did some interneting.
Oh, God.
Found a bunch of strategies for building trust and teamwork through cooperative exercises.
We're
A
not
reflame one.
here, Johnny.
Yeah, that goes double for me.
I reversed the doorknobs. It's locked from the inside. And this is the only key.
Escape rooms are good team building exercises, though. Johnny, that's a fire hazard.
New Mexico territory. 18...
You know, I can't be mad because this took a lot of effort and thought for Johnny, so I have to respect it.
This is just the plot of Young Guns 2.
Shit, you saw it?
Yeah.
I am Billy the Kid, and
Oh.
I have a video for you.
Yes, abuela! You better not make her cry. You do as abuela says. Oh. Well, you tried. I would have done it just because he did so much effort, you know? Pretty sure he broke a lot of his rental agreement laws there, but... Oh yeah, I guess you're gonna have to stay there with Robby now. Hope y'all like each other.
It's Johnny's old car.
Oh yeah, this does actually look really
He's put
shady.
this guy in a coma, and now he's driving around in a Cobra Kai billboard on wheels.
Yeah, does that make sense? Doesn't make sense at all. Most people, if they were traumatized by someone like that, they would have nothing to do with anything he had something to do with.
Is there nothing left for
Damn. Okay, listen, Silver. Do you need someone to work for you? Do you need me to do something for you, boo? Because I need a new apartment. A new car would be sweet too.
I'm sure you can see how that sounds a little strange after what Kreese did to you.
No, Cobra Kai has completely changed since Sensei Silver took over. Now it's about loyalty and discipline.
Wow, he memorized his lines.
I think you lied about Kreese, and Silver paid you to do it so he could have Cobra Kai to himself.
That's
So the truth.
Say Silver came after my family. That's the kind of man he is.
well, if that is true, then you must have done something to deserve it.
All right, you gotta give me a goddamn straight answer. Well, who gives a shit about your PlayStation?
Daniel?
Enough.
Yeah. And he could literally charge you right now in several ways. Trespassing, assault. He's not wrong.
He's obviously full of shit.
Maybe.
He's also no stingray. He is turtle.
Yeah.
You're right. He's bought and paid for. This guy's never gonna help us.
Whoa. He could, but maybe don't come at him with aggression.
But I know someone who can.
I don't think Daniel should be making any plans right now. Chosen, bro, maybe you need to take him to a Japanese retreat or something. He needs some Miyagi energy.
Remember she was the one that beat up that car with the baseball bat?
Oh, we're bringing this back.
It was good talk. Yeah.
Yeah, dismissed. Bye.
I think Silver paid off Stingray to lie about Kreese's attack. He's driving around your old Cobra Kai mobile.
What?
Yeah, it's like, I don't care.
For good. Come on, Johnny. Time to get back in the game.
Sorry, man. I'm dealing with some family stuff.
Yeah, he actually has
Right.
things. You could have just been like, hey, how are you, Johnny?
If you hadn't brought it back, none of this would be happening. You
Temper.
opened Pandora's box, not me.
Listen, I don't know who Pandora is or what's in her
Right?
box, but I got Robbie out of there.
Wow.
What happened to the strike first badass, huh? Do I need to kick his ass to wake him up, or was it just one tournament loss all it took to turn you into a pussy?
Wow, Daniel. Who is this? Who is this?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
What's going on with you, man?
Johnny being the therapist here. Come on, Daniel. How far are we sliding? But even Johnny's like, I can't even fight you like this.
Amanda let you leave the house like
Why
that?
would you give him more booze?
She's at her mother's in Ohio. She took the kids with her.
Don't gloat, Johnny, not the time. Don't gloat. I know a part of you's like, finally LaRusso's crawling.
Every time I think it's over, another enemy emerges from Daniel's past.
There's only 3 movies, hun. This is it.
Terry Silver, he was hosting a charity function. Sorry.
Uh-oh, she knows him. That's right, she knows him.
When I met Daniel, he was going through some things. And Silver was the cause.
And you never thought of mentioning any of it.
I never thought that he would come.
Right? You the one who said Silver.
First, he pretended to be his friend. Then his mentor.
Oh, you're so fine, Silver.
They terrorized Daniel at every opportunity. All to drive a wedge between Daniel and Mr. Miyagi. And it worked.
It did.
But he got past it back then, so...
He didn't. That's why we're here now. This is the problem.
He didn't really get past it then, did he?
Thank you. Finally. Daniel needs therapy so bad. But I'm glad at least she's giving some perspective. Like, I know Amanda's in her feelings, rightfully, but she should know that Daniel wouldn't be getting this worked up over nothing.
I'm sure you and Amanda have your hiccups, but I'm also sure you always get over them.
Most of the time.
No reason to think you're not going to get through this one, as long as you keep your head out of your ass.
Johnny's just rolling out with the good advice.
So much for Goggle's advice on conflict resolution.
Surprised you knew how to goggle. Or the phrase conflict resolution.
That's... Wow, Daniel.
I have a pretty good feeling you're gonna work it out too.
He will.
Whether it be with the computer-savvy new Johnny approach or something a little more
Cobra Kai.
Johnny classic. If we hadn't had to stop at 3 points, we might have gotten this all out of our systems.
Yeah, I might have. 3 points is all you had in you.
Oh.
And the perspective.
That's what I'm here for.
Finally, friends, real friends. They've bonded through trauma now.
Babe, ruthless.
I thought we said we were done. Dismissed. Why are you back? Okay, you're looking for a fight.
Look at the tough chick.
You need to back
These
off,
kids are like, we've
Elizabeth.
seen so much violence. Can we just have some peace? We're in Ohio.
I don't need a bat for you, tramp stamp.
That was assault. Oh, these kids are about to see that their mama was ghetto. That is exactly the way I expect middle-aged moms to fight.
Bitch.
Okay, Sam's gonna have to take you out. That's right. That's my daughter. That's my daughter. Sam should have just finished mopping the floor with these. Like, who does that? Who does that? What 40-year-old?
It's not worth losing my family over.
Exactly. Thank you, Daniel.
I have failed you.
Oh, no, Chosen. I mean, you were a little aggressive, honey, but your heart was in the right place.
Defending honor of Miyagi-Do. Never a waste of time.
Yeah. I don't want Chosen to go, but I guess he doesn't technically live there. Okay, other people live here. What are you doing, Johnny? Oh my God.
Fight it out. No points, no mats. You just keep fighting until you get it all out of your systems.
I mean,
Here now?
you know, Miguel's still recovering from a very serious back surgery. Okay.
Is that all you got?
There's cement out here. Limber. Oh, geez, concussions now. Great. So when they're both in the hospital, Johnny, how do you explain this to their mothers? I mean, actually, it's probably going to happen one way or another anyways, the way these two are going, so. That was fancy. Damn, whose door was that? Oh, it's a staircase.
That's it. Fight's over.
Really? No, too late, Johnny. You can't open Pandora's box. Yes, you should know who she is and what's in her box. Oh my god, a balcony. Oh my god, a balcony! Oh no, I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna revisit season 2. I knew he was gonna have to. You just had to make sure you get him back exactly, right? Is that it, Miguel? Okay. Now would be the moment if you're gonna do it. Oh, now you show up, Johnny? Okay.
Last time we fought like this,
I almost died.
how come you didn't hold back? I had tunnel vision and I got so angry that I barely knew where we were.
Exactly.
And if it's any consolation, it was the worst moment in my life, too.
Look at that. Words.
Well, thank God.
For now.
You still hated each other when the baby gets here?
That's how you drop it?
Like you and my mom?
Who else?
We're supposed to tell you together, so make sure you act surprised.
Holy shit!
Yeah, like
I knew
that.
Miguel would be happy.
That's awesome.
Oh, I'm glad Robby was okay. I hope it stays.
Daniel, on the other hand, has every reason to hate Terry Silver after what he put him through.
So, you're saying Aisha cut him some slack?
Yeah.
I mean, he's your husband. I think you need to talk to him at least. You have a valid point, and I do think the space was necessary, but this is not divorce territory yet, by any stretch.
You weren't kidding about these breadsticks, Dad.
Oh my
I wouldn't
god.
lie to you.
Thank you, Olive Garden, for sponsoring this episode.
And please don't tell me the bruises on their faces mean that you beat them into submission.
That was the next step.
Don't worry, it was all supervised.
Was it?
It was actually LaRusso's idea.
Oh, it's true. He's like, now that this crisis has been solved, I can help Daniel.
It's Daniel LaRusso.
Damn, I thought it was just an apartment. He got him a whole loft. Seriously, Silver, hi. Do you need anything done, sir? Because I can help. Like, what do you need? Some lies, some extortion? I'm very multi-talented.
Actions have consequences, Mr. LaRusso.
Damn, I say that all the time. Oh my god, we're soulmates.
The valley is yours.
The valley?
He's like, I'm crazy. I want your soul now.
How's that beautiful wife of yours?
Don't fall for it, Daniel. Daniel, don't take the bait, please.
To wrap Cobra Kai geese around both your kids.
Damn it. I can't even fault Daniel because I knew he was going for the kids next, but what parent wouldn't?
That's the Cobra Kai student I remember. You never really had the strength, did you?
Oh, God. Why is Silver so hot? I'm sorry, Daniel. I'm sorry, baby.
I was ready to let this go.
No, you weren't.
And you just kept getting in my way.
It's half true, but not really. You were looking for this, Silver. Bad Aisha.
And now that the writing's on the wall, you want to surrender? No.
Yes, that's what you do in a battle. See, now, if you had just kept your phone on record. Oh my God, Daniel. We're going back to, Look at those knuckles. You remember that?
So what?
Mm-hmm.
Make believe it's his. This guy wants to.
He's turning you into that guy again, Daniel. Don't let yourself go there.
I want you alive and well for what's about to happen.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy that wants you to watch.
Because the real pain is about to begin.
Sorry. I'm really trying to be angry at Silver, but I can't.
It's only getting worse.
Who are you talking to?
I'm becoming someone I don't want to be.
Crease. I mean, I think you might have needed that butt kicking though, Dan. Chosen's like, good thing I never bought that plane ticket.
There is an endgame, kid. Silver's going down.
Yeah.
Only he doesn't know it yet.
Oh, do we have plans? Oh, it's getting spicy, you guys. Okay, guys, that was episode 5. 5, which was called Extreme Measuring. And yeah, I'd say we're in the extreme territory. This is probably the darkest that it's gotten for Daniel since Karate Kid 3, actually, to be perfectly honest. Wow, so much to unpack here. I'm going to try to keep it short, though. I mean, these are half-hour episodes, but I feel like I talk so much about them, but they really are covering a lot this season, which I'm not mad at. I like that I feel like this is the most layered season we've had so far when it comes to the storylines and some of the themes that they're talking about, and that they're finally tackling some of the issues that I've been saying for all these seasons around how Daniel's not moved past some of this trauma and how it's holding him back. But let's go. We'll start with the boys, because I feel like that's the shortest story. The boys being Robby and Miguel. We see that I really do appreciate the efforts that Johnny made. Like, this is the most tenacious that Johnny has been about getting something done. But I'm glad, obviously, having the fire under him of the baby coming and that's going to be happening sooner than later. He didn't want to give up on the boys. And, season 1 or 2, Johnny probably would have given up on the two of them getting along. But he was like, nope, like, this is very huge. This baby is going to be, these 2 brothers, right? He's going to have 2 brothers. He or she's going to have 2 brothers, and we don't want them hating each other this whole time. And a lot of this can be resolved with a good conversation. They just need to get past that ego that they're both were feeling in order to have that conversation. And unfortunately, yes, with boys, I don't know why boys act that way, but they need to just get violent and just get it out of their systems, and then they can actually talk like humans. I've never been able to understand that, but it's a real thing. And I love that when Daniel came over and talked to Johnny, he's like, yeah, maybe you should just use a little bit of old school Johnny with this, just let them beat it out of each other's systems. And I did feel like Miguel kind of, in the back of my head, I'm like, I bet you Miguel needs to get the best of Robby in one fight again after what happened. Like, that's the way he's gonna feel like he's rebalanced. And it kind of harkens back to Karate Kid. Like, if the very first movie, Daniel, he made it all the way to the finals in the tournament. He did so much better than, let's face it, most people would with only a few months of karate training against kids who've been training their whole lives. He gets taken out by Bobby, and really he could have ended there, right? Mr. Miyagi's like, dude, you could end here. Like, you've made your point. Cobra Kai's not going to mess with you anymore. But Daniel's like, no, for my balance, I can't end like this. I need to get some kind of a win, or I need to at least get some one up on the people that bullied me. And so that's why he went back, injured leg and toe in order to finish the fight. And I think for Miguel, he needed to do the same thing that, we saw in season 3 when he was in his coma. He kept replaying that moment over and over and over again of going over that balcony. And I think all of that translated into the helplessness that he felt being in the coma, being partially paralyzed. Like, it was very scary for him. I think in his mind, the way for him to get control back was to come back at the person who caused that situation to occur and kind of get that one-upmanship, or feel like he could take his power back in that way. Now, it's not the only way to take back power. That's something he definitely could have done outside of a fight, but these are teenagers and they're boys, so be it. That's why I wasn't surprised when they went up to the second floor. I'm like, okay, we got to recreate the whole situation where Robby could be the one who gets kicked over. Will he actually do it? I knew he wasn't going to do it because Miguel was not that person. I mean, he did some pretty horrible things in season 1, but we saw that after that tournament, he really kind of started to realize that he was turning into somebody he didn't like with that attitude. So that's a good thing with Miguel, is that he never really went past that line. He's always kind of had his own internal moral compass that's pulled him back from that, which is good. And even in that moment, seeing, because Robby was ready to let it happen. Like, Robby was kind of like, okay, like, if you're going to kick me over, then I get it. Like, do it. And it's kind of hard to do that to somebody who's given up. And I do like that when they stopped, Robby asked him, like, why didn't you? Like, I deserved it. If anyone, you didn't deserve it when I did it to you, but, I deserved it here, if anything. Why didn't you? And then Miguel was just kind of like, no, that's not me. And I like that he finally asked Robby, like, why didn't you stop, right? Because that's really what they came down to. I mean, as I said, from the very beginning, the two of them never really had a good start. Miguel made a lot of assumptions about Robby from the get-go that kind of led to some bad places. But in the end, I think they've always been curious about each other. And of course, because they now have this common denominator of Johnny, I'm sure they both have curiosity about each other. But yes, him asking Robby, like, why didn't you stop? And Robby just being like, exactly what I've been saying for several seasons, and why I've said poor Robby over and over again when people were like, why are you saying poor Robby? He kicked him over the balcony. He didn't do that because he thought he was kicking him over the balcony. I've been saying that. But anyways, it was nice to hear Robby finally get to articulate that I was I had tunnel vision. I was fighting. I was angry. I was full of adrenaline. I didn't even realize where I was in that moment. And I just just reacted. I just wanted to end it. It was stupid. And like he said, I immediately regretted it. And it was very clear he did. That's not what he wanted to do. Right? He thought at most he'd be giving this kid, some bruises, maybe a cracked rib, but he never thought for a second he'd go over a balcony, right? Like if it was a situation like we just saw in this episode and he saw that he was standing near the balcony and then made that decision, it'd be different. But it's very clear they had no idea what was going to happen in that moment. So anyways, I'm glad they got to have that conversation finally, and they realized, you know what, this is stupid. Like, neither of us want to beef like this. Neither of us are like this. This is not our nature. Either, both of them are actually pretty chill kids overall and pretty mature kids. And now they can actually be more of that person. And since they now have like friends and now, family now in common, it makes more sense for them to kind of get back on this path. Like maybe they'll never be besties, but at least now this urge to fight each other is gone and they can go forward. And I love that they both received the news of the baby really well. Like I said, I was most worried about Robby. I didn't really expect him to be like a jerk about it, but I just said it could bring up some things for him. I'm glad that he's happy and I'm hoping that sticks. But I think now that he's seen that Johnny's making the effort, it's really making just a world of difference with Robby. And that's all we ever needed. We just needed Johnny to freaking be there. So I'm really glad that he is doing that. On to the LaRusso's sans Daniel. They went back to Ohio apparently to be with Amanda's family. We haven't really seen much of Amanda's family at all. It's always been like Mama LaRusso. But we see that she went out with, they brought in, what's her name from Karate Kid 3? Her name went straight over my head again, I'm sorry. But now we're seeing how they're all tied in. Apparently she's the one who hooked Daniel up with Amanda in the first place. But it was nice to see her again because, again, I just love seeing all these faces again. But also, I love that she was able to provide Amanda with a little bit more perspective as far as why Daniel is having such a visceral reaction to Silver. I mean, he had a pretty strong reaction to Kreese and Johnny as well, but some of my comments kept mentioning, and very wisely so, that what Silver did and Mike Barnes by extension in Karate Kid 3 was far worse than anything that Kreese I didn't say Kreese because Kreese was kind of part of Karate Kid 3 as well, but you know what I mean? It was way more than Johnny ever did. And like the psychological warfare that Silver waged on Daniel was just next level because it was intentional. It was very much with the purpose of breaking Daniel down at his foundation and severing a relationship with his father figure, right? It was diabolical. Johnny did some stuff, but Johnny's stuff was very much reactionary and definitely not with the objective of like ruining Daniel's life, right? So anyway, I like that she was able to help Amanda see that Daniel isn't himself right now because this really is bringing up some really deep-seated trauma for him and he hasn't dealt with it. And I love that Amanda said that, like he, because remember she said, he's over it. When I introduced him to you, he was already over it. It's like, well, no, he wasn't. Like, he wasn't there. Silver was gone, so was Kreese, so it wasn't in his face, but he hadn't gotten over it. He hadn't healed. And that happens to us a lot in life, right? We go through something traumatic or hard, and that situation passes, and because new things come up and take our attention, we think we're over it or we're past it, but it really just kind of goes into some place in our subconscious and sits there waiting for when things start to slow down, and then it might start to come out, or other things might come up in our lives later that bring out that trauma to the forefront. And in Daniel's case, he got a very literal reminder of all this trauma, and again, the fact that he really isn't over it yet. So I'm just glad that she's able to see that, as I said, she was right. I'm not at all saying she was wrong for taking some space from Daniel, and she's absolutely right that Daniel needs to be the one to put a pin in how far this whole rivalry thing goes. However, I think she also needs to remember that Daniel's not the kind of guy that just goes, like, she's been married to him for a long time now. Like, she's known him for a long time. He's not the kind of guy who just flies off the handle all the time. She needs to understand that there's a real reason why Daniel's acting outside of himself right now, and to give him a little bit of grace. And that's really all that her friend was trying to tell her. Like, just, this is, she's like, give him some, a little slack, like, try to understand him. Like, the space is okay, but like, is this divorce territory? No, like, this is like, you all need to really have a deep talk and maybe start talking about things like therapy. I think Daniel really needs to look up at some therapy for all the stuff he went through. All the men in this show need therapy. Let's be real. Him, Johnny, Kreese, like all of these men deeply need therapy. But anyhow, so that happened with them. And then we saw that Daniel finally, once he kind of got pulled back from the edge by Johnny, that was a great moment too. Him and Johnny actually sitting and having a mature conversation that wasn't tied to any battles or anything else. And, Johnny being the one to finally pull Daniel back after Daniel's kind of done it for him in previous seasons and just say to him, hey, this isn't you. I know the real Daniel. This is not you. As much as it drives me nuts. And like I said, I know a little part of him was probably gloating at seeing Daniel finally taking the veneer of perfection off for a minute. But I like that he was just a real friend in that moment, was like, you know what, but this isn't you. You are a family man. You're the guy with the balance and the the chill vibe. Like, you need to find where that is again, tap into it and get your family back, because this ain't worth it. And he helped Daniel kind of pull it all back. And we see that Daniel was trying to do that. And of course, sending Chosen, trying to send Chosen home. Glad that Chosen didn't leave though, because I love Chosen. His little crazy ass. I feel like him and Johnny are gonna get along really, really well. But anyway, we see that Daniel tried to pull it back after almost attacking Stingray, really, which was, again, very out of character. He acted more and more like the Daniel we saw in Karate Kid 3. And thankfully, he started to see he was going down that road and was trying to pull himself back. But of course, Silver, I like that this episode's again showing that Silver is crazy, okay? The man is nuts. And crazy Silver came out here, right? Like, he had to fight Daniel. He didn't have to. Like, he really could have just taken that punch from Daniel and then, like, used that as another weapon in his arsenal. But the fact that he kept pushing Daniel's buttons, and I loved, like, he literally said what I said in the last episode about, like, Daniel keeps opening this door and Silver just keeps walking through. Daniel's got to learn how to close that door and lock it. But anyhow, yes, that fight very much showed that the veneer in Silver is already starting to crack a little bit. And I've already said this, like, if anyone will take Silver out, it is Silver. He cannot hold it together because he's crazy. So that's all Daniel needs to do, is like channel that Miyagi energy. If Miyagi was here right now, Silver could insult Miyagi's entire lineage, his mama, his daddy, his dog, and Miyagi would just be blinking at him in that way to like, okay, and it ain't true. I don't care. I don't know you enough to care about what you think. And like, you just watch Silver just implode with all that anger, right? But Daniel's not there yet. Hopefully he will get there over the next couple of episodes. He got his ass beat, but you know what? I feel like he kind of needed that, a little reminder that he doesn't need to go this way. He has to go about this differently. Head on attacking is not working for Daniel, and maybe this ass whooping will be the wake-up call he needs. But I wouldn't be surprised if in the next episode we see Daniel sulking a little bit, because it never feels good to suffer such a beat down. But now everyone understands, that Silver is a bit crazy now, and now they can kind of see that it's not all Daniel. But again, Daniel's going to have to get his house in order if he wants to continue this fight with Silver and actually win. And then we saw that Tori has gone to Kreese. First time we've seen Kreese this season. And it looks like maybe Kreese has something up his sleeve, or he's just going to say what I've said, and that he knows that Silver's going to eventually crack on his own. But maybe they can do things to push that cracking along so that it happens before more dangerous things actually go down. So overall, great episode, super fun. Love that fight at the end. I'm sorry, I know that that Silver's supposed to be the bad guy here, but that actor kills that role every single time. And I like him so much more now. Like in Karate Kid 3, he was good, but you can tell that his acting has gotten so much better and more refined since then. And it's just, he's such an enjoyable villain for me. I'm so sorry. I will be anti-Silver by the end of the season, I swear. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and we will see you in the next video.